Hey everybody, Stu Smith here, going live. I will be taking some questions here in a minute, maybe even showing some CSS critiques. But Monday, I used to only do these on Tuesdays. However, I'm adding a second live Q&A, but I want to make it a little bit different than the previous Q&A. So I want to talk about Monday scheduling. Like, what does your week look like this week? And does it make sense in a bigger picture of your training program? So, for instance, we are still in the spring, kind of the back half of the spring. We are focusing on working on our endurance, run, swim, ruck, endurance, but we're also working on muscle stamina. So, a lot of calisthenics. So, today's workout, I will just call this up. I send these newsletters out to people who subscribe to them, and these are just our workouts that not only do I send to people, these are exact ones that I do on my Stu Smith Fitness membership site. But anyway, today is an upper body day. We did um, just a upper body weight vest pyramid, pull ups, push ups, do some dips in there with the weight vest. Um, Also like to mix in a combo exercise when the dip bar gets busy. It's just a bicep overhead press, you know, moderately heavy weight. And then we did sit ups and we ran a mile every fifth set. So with that, um, probably accumulated over 4 miles, 140 reps or 150 reps of pull ups, double that on push ups. I did a TRX version, so I did a little bit less push ups today. And ran about 4 miles. So then we went swimming afterwards, and that was more of a technique based swim. We were pretty burnt out after that when we swim immediately afterwards. If you really want to put out in the swim, my suggestion would be maybe swim later in the day. Sometimes I will go and just do a little light coaching technique session in the morning after, almost treat it like a cool down after that almost 2 hour workout, and then go back at noon and get a harder swim workout. So that's one way you can play with that, especially if you need to work on your swimming. Let's see here. What else? Yeah, that's all for today. Tomorrow's going to be a leg day. However, leg days during our calisthenics and cardio cycle are a lot different than your typical leg day in the gym. This is all about air squats, running, lunges, hills, some intervals. You can make it a sprint interval, you can make it a goal pace interval. That's up to you. But usually we have accumulated, a couple hundred squats, about a quarter mile worth of lunges, and about 5 or 6 miles, depending on how many hills we do. Then we top it off with my Navy guys putting on a pair of fins and swimming for at least 2,000. Maybe warming up with a 500 without fins and then swimming 2,000 with. Yeah, let me know if you guys have any comments. Let me know if you guys are reading me okay and got any questions. Happy to assist. So leg day is a good one. Usually do a little cool down session. I like to make kind of like a mini mobility day, I call it. So I bike or do some elliptical, something easy for 5 minutes, and then I stretch and foam roll or dynamic stretches in chest deep water if I'm swimming for 5 minutes. Usually on a swim, I'll end it with some treading or dynamic stretches in chest deep water. And that is really helpful. And by Wednesday, you may have seen me post about this, but we do a mobility day. But mobility day is really a part recovery day, it's part stretching, it's part full range motion, it's part technique on um, any type of movement that we're working on. During the weight cycle, sometimes those movements tend to be more barbell only technique driven for mobility day. But then during the calisthenics cardio cycle, we tend to focus a lot more on the treading mobility that's required. We do a lot of drown proofing drills after the land base stretching. And people are actually a whole lot better at egg beater type treading than they were before, just because they've increased their mobility just a little bit. So I wrote a recent article. In fact, I will put that in there. The treading article that has some of these new stretches that we've been doing to help out with um, treading style mobility. So think of it that way. Um, if you're having a hard time doing egg beater or having a hard time doing a scissor kick type treading, it's probably more mobility based than anything else. So consider that. So that's our Wednesday. Our Thursday, this week we happen to be changing things up a little bit. We're doing like a kind of a shorter full body workout, kind of preparing for the Murph coming up next week. So it's a little squat pyramid, pull up, push up pyramid 1 to 10, but we're not coming down. So just half a pyramid or a ladder, short runs in between. Then we're doing just a 30-minute AMRAP of submax level repetition. So 10 squats, 10 pull-ups, 20 push-ups, 30 abs, run a couple hundred yards, do that for 30 minutes, and then we go work on some plank, a 5-minute plank with some push-ups every minute on the minute. And then we go for a nice easy run or swim cool down, because on Friday is our third Spec Ops triathlon of our month of May progression. We started off 2 weeks ago with a 2-mile run, 2-mile ruck, 800-meter swim. Third week, or the second week, was 3-mile run, 3-mile ruck, 1-mile swim. And this Friday, it's a 4-mile run, 4-mile ruck, 1-mile swim with some extra credit, quarter-mile fireman carry, quarter-mile bear crawl to top it off. And then after that, it's not going to be that challenging. Usually after that workout, we're pretty beat, but we will try a few 400-meter intervals with some light squat, push up, just kind of get the kinks out and get ready for Memorial Day Murph on Monday. So anyway, that's our week in advance. So what this is doing is basically just a split routine that gives a couple of recovery days in there from your movements by either mobility day or a cardio only day with the Spec Ops triathlon. And then you got a upper body, lower body split from the beginning of the week. And then we got 2 basic, moderately easy full body days. So nothing that's going to burn us out too much. Get ready for crushing on Monday. So, well, I do have some new videos I want to show you. In fact, I will post those up if you guys don't have any questions. Let me see, the one from today. This one's pretty good, actually. Give me a second to pull it up. Yeah, this one's okay. This one's a marine swimming, so nothing wrong with marine swimming, but it's not particularly pretty, but it's also it is effective though. He's swimming it in like 49 seconds. Pretty pretty decent maintaining the pace, so he's getting in a condition to do that. So he's in the 8-minute zone. But I thought I'd share this one just because it's pretty decent. So let's see. That's not what I wanted to share. Where is my Sharing of the video. It's gone. That's why. All right, give me a sec. Just got to pull this up again. All right. So, all right, let's see how this looks. Still not. What the hell? There we go. Man, technology. Fun stuff today. All right, so we got a top arm, bottom arm, kick and glide. He tends to stay on his side the whole time. Nothing wrong with that. I personally like staying on my side with a pair of fins on. Without fins, I tend to roll over just a little bit and try to get that shoulder under the water a little more. I will say this, looks like he has a really big bottom arm pull, which throws off his timing just a little bit right there, right? So my suggestion is shorten that arm pull up a little bit on the bottom, and then it makes it a little bit easier to recover together. I mean, you're working well with what you got. I'm a little bit nitpicky on this one, but he's doing it in 50 seconds, so it's not bad at all. But if he were to shorten that bottom arm to make it more like a breaststroke scull, he'll he'll be a little more efficient with his timing of the stroke, because there's like this weird little delay in there. And I'll show you what I mean in comparison. So let's see. We got a question here: is flutter or dolphin more efficient for fin swims? It's going to depend on the person. If you're getting a 1730 now, 1,000-meter, that's good with dolphin. I feel like I don't get a lot of propulsion with flutter kicks, even with the correct technique. It really comes down to, will whoever's screening that test allow it? Like, they may say you need to do flutter kicks. But, in the open water, are they going to be able to watch you do dolphin kicks? I don't know. So in a pool, that may be a little harder to get away with. Not saying that it's illegal, just saying that sometimes there are rules with these timed events that people have to adhere that don't necessarily make any sense. I mean, you're moving in the water efficiently. Does it matter if you're doing a dolphin kick, a scissor kick, or a flutter kick? I don't personally care, but I'm also not the one giving the test. So my advice is get good at multiple kicks so you can do a dolphin kick when you need to take a break. You can do some flutter kicks, when needed. I personally like to do a scissor kick with little flutter kicks on my strong side, but on my weak side, I just do constant flutter kicks. However, I'm pretty decent at dolphin kick, and I can throw a few of those in there too, especially if I feel like gliding underwater a little bit longer. I can throw a little dolphin kick in there to just propel that glide a little faster. So that's kind of my answer for you. I don't know which is more efficient. It depends on the person. I've seen some people with horrible dolphin kicks that don't need to be doing dolphin kicks because they don't know how to do them. So my gut would say, if you're good at both flutter kick and dolphin kick, the dolphin kick would be more efficient when you're propelling yourself underwater, which, in that glide position, you're basically underwater, in that streamlined glide position. Good question, though. Let me show you the other one that I'm talking about um, on the CSS. Let me pull this up. I think this is it. Yeah, so this is a good one. Pull this up and show you guys what I mean by just a little more efficient on the streamline body position and the bottom arm pull and recovery. I don't know why it's doing this. There we go. Okay, so We got a kick off the wall, double arm pull, transitions into the stroke really well. Top arm, bottom arm kick. So yeah, this is really good. Top, bottom, kick, hold the glide. So if you notice, he's really moving pretty fast in that glide position. I mean, this is a 45-second 50. So I think he wound up finishing this. This is a warm up swim for him. And he did his 500 warm up in 7:30, which is pretty impressive. And it's mostly gliding. I mean, it's just perfect streamline. He's got a good, powerful kick. And it's just, I don't have a lot to say on this one. It's just that good. Top arm, bottom arm, kick, hold the glide. Top, bottom, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, pull. Yeah, this is good. So like I said, on the if you do the math on a 45-second 50, that's a 7:30, 500. So he just maintained this for 10 laps, which will get you a 7:30 every time. So it's pretty smooth. Let's see. So part of today, like I said, is a little bit different than um, my normal Tuesday, where we take a lot of questions and we um, do more CSS stuff. The fact that there aren't many questions here today, I'm probably going to cut it a little bit short and just kind of explain a little bit why I do my cycling the way I do. For over 20 years, I have been doing something that I now call seasonal tactical fitness periodization, which is really, this is one of the cycles, spring and summer, PT cardio cycle. And then this is a later version, which just another way to do a spring training cycle, which we are doing now, by the way. And I've evolved a little bit to a block periodization model, testing that out as well, where you do 3 weeks of calisthenics and cardio, 1 week of weight training with a reduction in your mileage. So next week, when I do this Monday show, I will discuss that week because next week it's our weight training week. We've gone through, this is our 3rd week of going pretty hard on the calisthenics and cardio, topping it off with this 4-mile run, 4-mile ruck, 1-mile swim week workout, hill days, things like that. So we got a lot of mileage this week. So next week we'll probably drop our mileage down to like 15. Just kind of give us a break from total mileage, but we'll drop the reps down as well, add some weight, and just kind of do a moderate recovery strength maintenance week, if you want to call it. And we've been doing that. It's our 3rd cycle of that. So we're on our 12th week next week of that cycle. We'll probably do 16, and then we'll flow into the summer, where the summer's really kind of our peak cycle of calisthenics and cardio. And we'll build up some mileage, we'll build up some time in the water, we'll build up our repetitions, PST scores, all of that. And then by the fall, we'll wrap it down, start heading down, and the running mileage starts coming down a little bit, probably from 30, 35 back down to 15, maybe 10, 15 per week between the fall and winter. But that's a progression. So it's multiple weeks before we get there. Probably by end of the year, we'll be down to about 12, 15 miles a week, and then spend the rest of the winter moderately running. But we're focused more on strength and power, some short running speed and agility, things like that, versus longer distances, higher repetitions. We're just working on putting on some mass We do run because most of our workouts are still outside, even in the winter, which has just been a choice. During COVID, it wasn't a choice, but we enjoyed it so much that I doubt we'll go back into a gym unless it's just like single digits or something. Because we got down into the teens this winter, and that sucked. But people showed up and got it done, so I was pretty impressed. Made us tough, just like the heat's going to make us tough here next few weeks. So, which also has, you know, getting used to climates is also a very important part of tactical fitness, right? Not everything's air conditioned in a gym, where you go. It could be hot as hell, in a desert. It could also be really cold in the mountains. So, being used to be doing things in those kind of climates is going to be very helpful for you one day, and you'll be glad you've acclimated in such a way. So anyway, that is why we do what we do. Also, in the winter, if you think about it, if you're putting on mass and it's really cold and you're doing nighttime dives and freezing water, you're going to want a little bit of mass on. So it actually has very useful timing of why we lift and put on mass in the winter. And, one, if you're a candidate, you're trying to work on some weaknesses that you may have to get through selection, which is strength based, like log PT and boats and rucking and things like that. Um, so if you have those weaknesses, that's what that winter cycle's for. But in a tactical application, it's actually quite useful as well, putting on some weight when it's really cold. And then we rip it up in the spring and summer. So there you go. So that is my system in a nutshell. In fact, I will give you some more reading on that if you care. This is just a fun article. Um, I didn't even realize that I've been doing it for 20 years until one of my guys retired and said, "I remember 20 years ago when you were doing this," and I was like, "Holy crap!" So back in '97, actually. So it's been 25 years now. I got that notice and I was, I need to write something about that. So I actually wrote an article called 20 Years of Periodization and how that has kind of evolved over 20 years. Um, check it out here. I'll put this here for you. You guys can check that out. So I'm thinking of using this YouTube channel a little bit more. I kind of enjoy doing these. Um, I think Tuesday's a little better for people for some reason. Seems like we get a lot more questions on Tuesdays. Maybe people weren't ready for this one. So I'll probably be doing more. I'll probably will have, wait for a really good question of the week and just answer that question. I may post up a video like I did a few days ago of just a really good swim um, to show you. Sometimes a picture's worth 1,000 words, and quick little video of me talking over someone swimming. Very useful. I do that on a shorter um, method over on TikTok. If you haven't seen those yet, if you go to TikTok and do Stu Smith 50 on your phone, or guess you could do it on your computer too, um, you'll see over 100 CSS videos of me voiceover critiquing them, which has proven to be quite useful for many people learning how to do the stroke on their own. So if you don't have an instructor to be able to teach you how to swim, sometimes these videos can really do that. And best thing is they're free. I'm not charging anybody for Instagram and YouTube and TikTok. These are free trainings. I got some great articles over at Stu Smith Fitness that you can also pick up some, free workouts. Um, also have paid ones as well, but there's plenty of free options for you out there if you're broke or don't feel like making the investment in yourself. So All right, folks, I have stuff to do. I got an article to write, um, and I'm going to get that done. So, um, let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you like these, and I will keep doing them. I'm not sure if Monday's the best day to do these. Maybe they are. I don't know. I kind of like the idea of hashing out my week with you guys so you can kind of see and hear about what I'm doing and why I do it the way I do. And then ask questions around that. I think that might be a good topic for a show every week. But yeah. So anyway, if you guys go to stewsmithfitness.com, you can use a compete20 code and save 20% on anything that you purchase over there. Got a lot of cool stuff. Um, Brett, thank you for the note. I do like doing these, so we'll keep doing them. So until next time, I will be back tomorrow at 9 o'clock, doing a little more CSS critiques, taking some questions, discussing little bit more about maybe this article I'm writing today. It's kind of interesting on the aging tactical athlete and why even when you're young, you need to start considering some of these methods to be doing this longer, at my age and beyond. So, um, yeah, that's the plan. So until next time, this is Stu Smith out. I will see you later.